My wife found out about my spontaneity prompts. We found ourselves on the brink of a relationship-ending fight. The crux of the matter was her feeling neglected, as I often allowed the hustle and bustle of my daily life to overshadow our connection. Hours would slip by without a message from me, and when I did finally reach out, it was often a predictable, "How's your day going?" message. Recognizing the strain this was putting on our relationship, I decided to take action. I crafted a list of 31 prompts and activities stored in my notes, ranging from heartfelt "I love you" messages to grand gestures such as buying flowers or orchestrating surprise picnics in the park. To keep things spontaneous, I set up reminders on my phone, scheduled to pop up every 2 days. The trick was to select the prompt corresponding to the day of the month, ensuring that my efforts felt genuinely random and not like a repetitive routine. Whenever a new idea struck me, I'd eagerly add it to my arsenal, occasionally shuffling the prompts to keep things fresh. The results? Well, they were quite remarkable. It's not that I didn't sincerely mean these gestures, I did, but sometimes life's demands would consume me, and I needed that gentle nudge to break out of work mode and take a few minutes to show my wife that I cared without resorting to the same mundane and generic texts. Now let's fast forward to this past weekend. I found myself immersed in some car maintenance with important car-related information and a maintenance log stored in my notes. While I was buried under the car, I asked my wife to check my notes for the torque specification on a drain bolt. As she began scrolling through my digital notebook, she stumbled upon a note titled "Spontaneity Prompts." Naturally, her curiosity got the better of her, and she decided to take a peek. As she scrolled through the list, her eyes widened, realizing that it was a treasure trove of romantic ideas. She pieced it all together, recognizing that some of the sweet sentiments I had shared with her were actually drawn from this secret list. Sensing her discovery, she couldn't help but ask me about it. In response, I confessed that I referred to it from time to time when I wanted to do something special to surprise her, or to inject a bit of authenticity into our text exchanges. However, her reaction wasn't entirely positive. She felt that I shouldn't need a list to communicate with her, and she even suspected that I had merely copied these ideas from the internet, despite the fact that I had painstakingly created the list myself. I want to take this opportunity to clarify a few things and address some of the questions that have been repeatedly asked. Initially, my wife was upset because she felt that my messages to her were somewhat insincere. I reassured her that my primary motive was to ensure I wouldn't forget to message her and to keep our conversations engaging. She understood my perspective, but now I'm contemplating taking a break from the prompts and relying on my instincts when the reminders pop up. Yes, it's true that she has a job and gets busy just like I do. She becomes frustrated when she sends me a message, and I don't respond for several hours. She believes that if she can make time for our relationship, I should be able to as well, especially when I can find time for other activities during the day. If I'm being honest with myself, I must admit that I can sometimes be more preoccupied than she is. She has a kind and thoughtful nature, often doing random acts of kindness for me, although I won't delve into the specifics here. We've been together for a substantial amount of time, and she has this belief that the love and intensity within our relationship must be nurtured continually. She fears that complacency could creep in if we become too comfortable. We both acknowledge the importance of emotional investment in sustaining our connection. Regarding the list of prompts, I regret to inform you that I won't be sharing it. However, some individuals suggested that I should consider creating an app, and that's an idea that's intriguing me. You see, the true challenge doesn't lie in brainstorming the list itself. That's just a matter of a few minutes of creative thinking. The real work comes in setting up and consistently following through on these gestures. For instance, instead of sending a run-of-the-mill text like, "How's your day going?" I could opt for something like, "I was thinking about you today and really missing you," or share a song that reminds me of a special memory we share. It's not about the specific words. It's about making an effort to be more personal and creative. I could send a joke, a photo that I cherish, or revisit candid pictures of her that I've taken over time. The key is to keep things fresh and avoid the mundane. So if you find yourself struggling with communication in your relationship, I encourage you to experiment with a similar approach. It doesn't matter what you say. What matters is that you say something more meaningful than the usual, "How's your day going?" Or, "What did you have for lunch?" Consistency is key, and if you can't come up with 10 to 20 ideas that you're comfortable repeating, take a moment to reflect on what would make your partner happy and what you'd like to hear from them. Give it a try. You might just find that it revitalizes your connection in surprising ways.